所以一定跟仔细的干。Why are pizza?
And oversight also. I didn't realize.
I'm just taking a video. It's very nice with the food here.
The rice.
Right? Amazing.
The yellow.
Oh wow, that.
Red.
So cute, right?
I just like